Abe Decathlon Gamer, welcome back to PCM23 Lions. This is episode 85 before we enter the Tour de France. It's ready to begin, but we're not quite there yet. A couple things to go over. First, Ashimwe has leveled up. He's still 4.5 stars. He's gone from our bottom tier 4.5 star guys to our top 4.5 star guy. Not quite 5 stars yet. He's got an expiring contract, so it's good he's still at that 4.5 star range. He has now brought his mountain and medium mountain ratings up to presumably their maximum. Medium mountain might have more, as it's tied to your hills rating a bit as well. So 77 for the mountain is where that's finalized at, which makes him a good support climber. Definitely a good support climber, but never going to be that guy. He's got 3 career victories. I don't know how much more he's gonna get, but he's still got some room punchiness, and definitely will be better than he is as a climber. So 79, maybe 80, that combined with the mountain rating could make him pretty effective. Likewise, he's got a 69 cobble rating. He's got room for another point or two at least. It's not gonna, he's not gonna win the Ronde, but maybe, like the Baby Flanders, where it's a little less cobble intensive but punchy. He could maybe be a contender for that sort of race, but I don't know. That cobble rating's a bit too weak. I think he'd need to get 74, 75 to probably be even for the Baby Flanders race, be that much better. But okay flat rating, mediocre. For us, 73 is an okay flat rating, but stamina's just not good enough. Stamina resistance at 73, 71. This is a guy who's nearly maxed out that we want to hang on to, but don't want to spend a ton of money on. I mean, he needs to be re-signed for sure under 10K. There's just not enough left out there to help him out. The prologue's okay, but the time trial's very mediocre. It's just there's nothing about him that stands out. His best ratings is 77, and he's just about maxed out. So, there's nothing left besides that hills rating that still has a little ways to go that's gonna improve beyond that 77. So he's a good rider, good guy to have, good support guy to have on the team, but he's never gonna be the guy. And after a very quiet year, I mean, it's July, and we had not had a rider level up since last season. Until, 1-2 episodes ago, we had one guy, Arab, move up. One rider at the top end of our list. One rider of our top 10 guys had leveled up all year. And now entering this episode, over the last week, we've had 2 level up. Joining the top class, our latest 4.5 star rider is Johannes Henok. Well, here's another one. He's got plenty of room still to level up. So far, his points are heavily weighted towards medium mountain, which is okay. But also, stamina. We finally have a rider with good stamina rating in 81, but he doesn't have the resistance to go with it. So he's not a guy who can attack. He doesn't have the mountain or the hills, so he's not a guy who can attack. He's a guy who can just keep up on a high tempo climb. Not a great combination. But we've already got him signed up for the next couple of years. He's young still, and more importantly, that web, there's plenty of room for more points to come, both in the hills rating, where he can, like a Shimway, he's going to reach 79, 80 territory for that hills rating. But his mountain rating can go quite a bit higher. Right now, it's heavily favored towards the medium mountain. Hopefully that mountain rating will come along. If he can get a 78 mountain and an 81 medium mountain, that's somebody who can win races. Just has to be kind of the right profile. But for somebody who's already 23 and just now starting to emerge, that's just now starting to take off, a little late to the party, but getting to the party. And the thing that I really like for him is he's got the basis to be pretty good. He's already got acceleration, he's got some recovery, and he's got great stamina, and good downhill. So not a time trialist though, so he's never going to be that guy. Neither one of them are going to be that guy, but this is somebody who can be a very strong climber on the right day. There were alterations made this year in fitness. I don't think they've gone terribly well. Preparing for the Tour de France while not racing should at most lead to stability, right? You build your fitness, but why would you be fatigued if you're not racing? Building your fitness is making you stronger, not weaker. And yet, what the game is doing is the opposite. Building for a fitness peak is adding fatigue. You can see at the end of the Giro, Arab had just 13 points of fatigue. 13! A week following, while training for the Tour de France, and you can see just how big of a jump. He went from 62% fitness to 84. He's preparing, but his fatigue jumps by 11 points. And then it continues to go up week by week, getting more and more tired as he builds fitness in preparation for the Tour de France. He's raced a single day, just one, and yet he's built up all this fatigue. And it's not unique to him because we gave the objective and the fitness peak to everybody else. But then oddly, others had the opposite approach. Mason Samuels had a ton of fatigue by the end of the Giro, and we've seen that drop off. But then it stopped dropping, right? Fitness is already there, it's already established, it's already high. He's ready, but then where's the fatigue going? It's not going anywhere. So as we start this Tour de France, we're looking at a lot of fatigue for a lot of guys. It's going to offset a bit of the progress we make, and of course the racing is only going to make it go up. A little frustrating because this all used to be something that you would manage, and it was so easy to manage if you knew what you were doing, right? Initially, on the surface, it was tough, but once you had it figured out, micromanaging, training rider by rider, it was so simple to get your entire team to a high fitness level and a low fatigue level for the entirety of the season. It was pretty easy to manage. It was pretty easy to do. I like that they changed the system and that they took that element of control out. For one thing, it helped simplify the game a little bit, and you didn't have to micromanage quite as much. I like that part. The desired outcomes are not there. That's not how a rider should be preparing for a race. That's not realistic. You don't go into the Tour de France at 50, 60, 70% fatigue already. That's not preparation. But that's how the game has seen it and done it. And there's guys coming to this race that weren't at the Giro, that don't have that excuse. 25% fatigue, and as he's training, it's still managing to get worse and worse and worse, and he's coming into the race with too much fatigue for somebody who's raced one day in months. Like, there's nothing more you can do to be more careless. There's another one. Barry is another one. Like, these guys are identical. But we have a plan. We're at least prepared. These guys are going to have the fitness peaks. They're going to have the objective. We'll have to deal with the fatigue as we go along. Day one. Arab. Already on the plus fives. A little early, though. A little bit early. Barry, Carolus, only plus ones for them. So they're already carrying the fatigue at a high level. I mean, why is it only a plus one? They should have the objective as a plus two. Tiredness is a minus one. We just saw them. They're at 30% fatigue. You're not supposed to be carrying a penalty until you get over 50. Yet they're already carrying a penalty. Clote's on a plus 4. The preparation, the objective is there, but then the fatigue. Apparently, it's hot and sunny at the start of this race. Shimway is at plus 3 territory, but already carrying double fatigue bonus, or penalty, that is. Jansen. Matoni is way off his preparation schedule. Samuels, he's about to start his fitness peak. So these guys are going to be strong too early and not in the late stages where getting a lot of riders into the breakaway is going to be advantageous. It looks like a lot of them are going to be crashing fitness-wise at the tail end of this race. That could complicate things. Barry, Careless, Jansen, though, they'll kick on with things a little bit later. Samuels will certainly last a bit later. And how long has it been since Arab and Clote and Ashimwe started their fitness peaks? I didn't see the messages for it, but I'm guessing really only just in the last couple of days. Stage 1, though, nothing new for that stage, so we'll proceed to the first stage that's going to set us up. But as for profiles, stage 2, that's a big opportunity to go in a breakaway and a big opportunity to pick up some early KOM points. I mean, there's a good 35 points available on the day that can get somebody a big head start in that classification. Stage 4, stage 6 are opportunities. The hard thing with these ones is you're going to not be seeing breakaway kind of victories. Stage 4 has a decent amount. If anything, I'd almost do stage 4, 2 and 4, kind of skip stage 6. I doubt that this is going to be a breakaway kind of day. Stage 8, that's a wonderful opportunity to pick up big points in the KOM and maybe for a breakaway, probably first breakaway victory type stage. Stage 9 is another wonderful opportunity for big time points in the KOM. 12, Punchy. That's our kind of profile, and late enough, and at a point where we still have the fitness peaks. That could be a stage to target. A fairly easy one to get, especially if you have a lead out trade at the end and others don't. 13. It's another opportunity, potentially very steep finish. 14. KOM opportunity, but nothing else. 15. Another KOM. This is the kind of race that your King of the Mountains very much can come from breakaway riders, and not the overall winner of the race also wearing that jersey. There's enough big climbs early in stages where it's not going to come down to your GC guys picking up the points and stealing them from the breakaway riders and rendering all of their stages of work, useless. 17, another huge opportunity, double points both ways. Maribel. 18, another big KOM opportunity, lots and lots of points on the way to the finish, and then it's moderate climbs at the finish, and it's late enough in the race that breakaway is probably going to hang on. Will we have anyone who's fit enough at that point to hang on for that type of stage? 20, time trial. Uphill climbing finish. And 21, Champs-Élysées. I don't know why. There it goes. Lots of opportunities for breakaway successes. Lots of opportunities for a King of the Mountains success. How involved will I get in that? Well, I think in the early stages, that's the best thing you have a shot at. Not necessarily winning the stage, because the peloton's going to catch up and not want the breakaway to take it. Most likely. Only time trials at the very, very end of the race, though, so that means the field's going to be closer and bunched up until like 8, 9, or maybe 4, 6. We'll split the field up a bit. 6, I think we'll start to split the field a bit. But those first couple opportunities aren't looking great. Stage 1, the victor, Girmay, Eritrea taking that one. So is that another chance for them to gain some points? A nation with 6 popularity winning a stage of the Tour de France should be pretty good odds that that's going to bump them up. And win after win after win after win, nothing happens. But Samuels has started his fitness peak a little earlier than I'd like it. Stage 4 or 6 at the soonest. He's starting on stage 2, so timing has not been great. Stage 2 has so far led to nothing successful in terms of breakaways. Arab has already tried twice. Samuels has tried once. Ashimwe has tried once. So far there has been no attempted breakaways that have gotten support from the field. We're going to want to protect Arab. And then we're going to go back to Shimway next. I tried 2 riders initially, and that just wasn't happening. The field is really looking at, I think, 3 riders or less. And we're already looking at too many guys here. This is going to be 4 once again. I have a feeling they're going to accelerate. One of these days they'll let a break go. 24-second advantage. For now, they're just about letting it go. Maybe. Not really. No, it's holding. This might come all the way down to the climb, which means difficult situation there. As we're out to 28 seconds. I mean, this feels like it could work. They're letting it go. Folks, I think we got a breakaway finally. Yes, it looks like we do. Nobody else is trying to attack. It's out to a minute. It's going out pretty fast. Fortunato, Maurice, and Donovan. So Maurice, 70, 73, 75. That's somebody Shimway can handle. He's great today, +5 today. Donovan, a little bit stronger. Definitely a medium mountain, but not punchy. Fortunato, oh, he's strong though. He's a Shimway level strong. Remember, we're matched pretty evenly here. Minute 30, the gap, and growing. Minute 40 and growing. That means we've got to get these other guys settled in. Clote, go ahead and be the guy who's the neutral one. Okay, back with the Shimway. Minute 45. Yeah, they're not letting them get very far away, are they? Minute 47. That's not... Like, you need that 2 minutes plus to not have others attack, and it's still just inching out in that direction. Shimway is already fairly tired. The group's fairly tired. Like, the peloton's not setting up, and we're not far away from the climb, which could be a little bit disastrous, which means we might need a counterattack at some point with Arab or Samuels. It is out 2 minutes plus, though, so for that part, it has succeeded. But what about... Do we have the resources to... Hang on, let's get careless to get water before we hit the climb. Yeah, 2:17. Gap's already holding. It's inching out a little bit more, but not much. Getting slight recovery, but we're about to hit the climb. Shimway's at 50% already. This is not looking pretty. Not looking pretty. I think this breakaway is gonna... I don't even think they're gonna make it through this first climb, unless the peloton literally, like, really sits up. Onto the climb. 16.5K. Shimway, given the illusion of effort. Gap's out to 3:15, so the field has set up a little bit, but not really. I mean, you can see how they are struggling somewhat. Let's not go so high on effort, please. There we go. 3:13. Climb's going fairly quickly. We don't necessarily have to go over the top first to Shimway. It's... I mean... just being in the group is going to equal 4 points or better, but it's still 8K to go to the top of a 16K climb, so we're halfway up, and we're down to 3 as Maurice gets dropped. So now we're looking at 10.86. Definitely the 3 capable guys are what's left here. Gap is 3 minutes to the peloton, so that's holding. Fortunato is no longer working inside 4K. Gap's holding. We're okay. And there goes Fortunato. 2K. Not doing the work is definitely helping us stay alive a little bit. You can see that Donovan wants to work, but then he can't. And then he drops, and then he can't, and then he drops. And final kilometer. Attacking. Shimway's got it. And he is solo. Donovan. Okay, there's guys attacking. So too late to try to grab something from the peloton. They're not that far behind, inside that 3 minutes. But our full team is intact. There are riders out the back. So far, so good. Maximum points in the KOM thus far. Still off the front. Like I said, it's too early in this race to feel like the breakaway has much of a chance. And then for that reason, I'm definitely willing to give a little bit extra for the sake of the KOM. Go ahead and get some water again. And we're back to 3. Fortunato is back. Gap came down a little bit, down to 2.5 minutes, but we're still off the front here. Shimway is almost fully recovered. He's in better shape than he was at the start of the previous climb. Remember, they had just gotten off the front. He was at half energy at the base of the climb, yet made it. We're going to be climbing a little bit harder, a little bit faster on this second climb now. 14.5K. It's a little bit shorter. Turini. 7.5%, a little bit steeper. 1% steeper. Pretty much the same altitude gain. Fortunato's already struggling, so I don't think he's at full strength here. He's the stronger of the 3, but he's looking a little bit weaker today. Donovan hung with us, and Ashimwe was the strongest of the group in the end. His +5 making the difference here. It's offsetting the gap to those guys, but because they've been working and Ashimwe has not really contributed, it's given him that little bit of an edge. Gap holding at 2.5. Careless, Matoni definitely not at full strength. Everybody did get the water, so we're good on that part. And there goes Fortunato, top 2. Ashimwe looking at coming out with a KOM jersey today. Gap 220, so the peloton's about 10 seconds closer than it was. They're riding just a little harder. Donovan's doing all the work. That's setting us up nicely to escape and go clear and claim 10 points again. Fortunato this time caught by the peloton. Only a single rider out the back of the peloton. Do we want to try to attack with someone to get points like Arab or Samuels? There we go. He is following. We're going to attack a little bit harder. And then 1.5 out. Samuels is right there. We're going to also attack with him. Shimway still has not dropped. But there he is. Just edging away. Keep pushing on. You'll get the descent to recover. Over the top first, 10 points. There's Donovan. Samuels has been followed by Simmons and Hoggins. They continue their attack. And Samuels will go over the top 4th. Yes, he does. And now just sitting on Ashimwe, meanwhile, has gone solo. He's a full minute ahead. If there's a chance in the stage, it's now down entirely to him. There's not much flat ground to cover here, so he could maybe do something solo. We're going to get our recovery when this gets a bit steeper. Right now it's just downhill enough that you're kind of holding, using up the last little bit of energy to establish the gap. Sorry, one second. These guys, Careless, Bari, have been dropped. Bari is our rider for the future, by the way. Bari is the highest potential we have of any rider, but he's the lowest current ability of any rider that we have on the team. We've got him here today for this race to get a lot of experience and help him in his progress. Tony hanging on Jansen. Go ahead and protect Samuels back in the group. Okay, back to Ashimwe off the front. Still in no man's land behind him is Donovan, but Donovan's already a minute and a half behind and going back. So this is now a solo breakaway for Ashimwe, who's got to recover and seems to be recovering very quickly here on this descent. So we'll allow him to do that. Go a little bit softer. He's good downhill. He's going to make good time, but we need the recovery piece. I'm going to back off just a little bit more. Just keep that heart rate low enough to recover rapidly. Meanwhile, he's 2 minutes ahead of Donovan and now over 3 minutes ahead of the peloton. So he's pushing harder and faster than anything the peloton's doing. Go ahead and get yourself some water. Final time. And now we're into the less steep section, so we want to back off. One last steep section. Get the heart rate down. There you go. There you go. Okay, get that recovery in. 205. He's definitely getting chased down. He's not hanging on to a 205 gap solo. But if he can get the KOM points for the next climb, then he'll have 30 for the day. Have a huge early advantage in the King of the Mountains. So at this point, that's the goal, is to hang on long enough to get these 10 points. Never mind the final one. Run out of energy, recover a little bit on the descent, but do what you can to hang on, which means start to accelerate. 4.5K to go to the sprint point. Forgot the water part for these guys last time. Get the water. Gosh, it's down to a minute already. Might be a Samuel's attack thing. Samuel's an Arab attack thing. Or are we going to go for the stage the old-fashioned way? That might be the trick here. There's only 58 in the peloton, and is that Gramai? Gramai on the attack. He's in the yellow jersey because he won stage number 1. He wants the points. You want to go with me? Because we can go win a stage together, right? Tony's still working on the water. He's not back yet. He's almost back. Shumway Gel. 7K. He's not going to make it. But he and Gramai did keep riding, or did he? Not looking like somebody who's riding too hard at the moment. Backing off. Can't go that hard for 6K. But the steepest section was the first section. Tony got the water. Okay. Pellizzari's going. Never mind a Shimway. He's doing his thing. He's going to have to do it a little more gently. 5K. Right? That's not happening. So. Whoa, dude. What are you doing way back here? Clote. Jansen's got to go first. Just positionally. Or Matoni. Okay. Careless. Clote. They're going to have to kind of get into the mix, but I just don't feel like they're going to get into the mix anytime soon. At the very least, this puts us in a position to collect more points at the top. Shimway hanging on for now, with 4 riders ahead of the field. And Matoni just setting a steady tempo. Careless is chasing to get back up there, and it's just not happening. Let's just get him out of the mix, please. A Shimway! That was not over the top. That was the next climb. We're looping back on this one. Okay. It's the next climb where things are going to be interesting. So this is really... Yeah, Careless is out of energy. But Matoni is setting a just nice steady tempo. Front 5. Shimway's been caught. He's got 800 meters. Just give whatever you got left. We're not getting the 10 points. Never mind. This is now thinking about the stage. No points for a Shimway. He still leads though. 2016. Simmons has 11. Gregoire has 10. 100 left in the peloton. Shimway. Just go ahead and go auto. And we've got to the front position. Gel for Jansen. We're in a great position to try to do something on this last climb, stage-wise. But can we do something? Tony now a 90. We'll start there because he's definitely a medium mountain guy and not a hills guy. And it's 5K. Doesn't need to happen instantly. Hagita is trying to attack. But Tony is now going to go deeper. Comes Gamai. Okay, Matoni's done. On to Janssen. Another guy who great medium mountain. That's an 80. He's going to be fast. And is offsetting what anybody else is doing. But we have to attack before the top. It's 3K to go, so we're going to have to start going a little bit deeper. Tony gets dropped. We're down to 76. That's a lot of riders still. 2K from the top. Look how deep all those guys are. Those 5 guys. 1K. This is where we need to make a move. Clote is going to be very fast. Now those guys are tired. Can we get any separation? I'm guessing that's a no. Let's check the downhill. Samuels is fantastic downhill. Check the sprint. Samuels is good in the sprint. Arab's good downhill. Clote is not. Put him on the tail end of this thing. He's not a good sprinter either. Janssen is, but he's not the best positioned. But Janssen is going to be the fastest at the moment. So Arab follow Janssen. And then Clote pick up the rear. 9K to go. Most of it's downhill. Hagita's got himself out front. It's going to be hard to win this sprint, especially with Girmay right there. But hey, it's okay if Girmay wins, right? Same odds as it is as my guys trying to make something happen with that. Here we go. 6K to go. Finally overtaking Penhope. 4.4K. The descent is nearly done. Girmay is going solo on this, and it's 3K out, so he's going to have a really hard time finishing. Yeah, there he goes. 2K out. 1.5K out. 1.3K out. Man, that was some fantastic acceleration. Girmay's not going to hang on, and we're not going to be able to overtake. We're going to miss the... Nope, Girmay back-to-back wins. We'll take that. Gregoire gets third. Samuels is fourth. No bonus, and there's still 57 riders here. But first go, and we got ourselves a top 5. First go, we got ourselves a top 5. Our only chance would have been separation before the peak, before the climb. We're not winning a sprint. We're not winning a sprint against Girmay. We have nowhere near. Gregoire, like, we don't have their levels. Beating Pidcock and Hagita is surprising. Almeida and Pogacar. And Van Aert was 12th. Evenepoel was 15th. Gaudu. These are guys that are much, much faster. Van der Poel. Stacked field. No surprise, it's the Tour. But we got it top 5 already. In fact, I think... Did we ever get a 4th in our 3 top 5s that we had on the previous? I think we did. We never had a podium. Never had a podium. We still haven't done that. But first go, and we've already secured a top 5. It's a good start. The race day condition really helping. Shimway is going to have the early lead in the King of the Mountains. I think I wasn't looking at the Cat 2 and the points that got accumulated there, but he should have it. Certainly a good start. But not a win. Not yet. But Girmay, 2nd straight stage victory. Another chance for Eritrea to get a boost. That dice roll keeps failing and keeps failing and keeps failing. But we'll try again. There was a gap after Thomas Gloag in 46th. So Leo Hayter, Hindley, number of riders losing some time there. Roglic losing time there. Adria losing time there. Fortunato ended up coming in at the tail end of that group that lost a little bit of time. So already a number of riders starting to suffer a little bit. Kevin Rivera, Ucha Brooks, Tolet losing time, Latour losing time, Aragave losing time. Jumbo Visma, though, I mean, he's probably just doing work. Hershey, Ciccone, a lot of guys not making it to the end on this one. Bernal, Sivikov, Fisher Black. What a deep field, though, to have all those guys here. Ashimwe, Mutoni for us, Carolus, Bari. So 4 riders losing big chunks of time, no longer being considered GC contenders, but we still have Samuels, Arab, Clote, and Ashimwe, or Janssen, that is, on same time. So we've gotten one of our top guys to lose a significant chunk of time already on the first climbing day in Ashimwe, but that's of course because he's going to have, or we hope he's going to have, a little early GC lead, or not GC, KOM, and he does. So Ashimwe is going to don that jersey. That's nice. That's a start. That's worth points also for the team. So that establishes him for that front. And when we go and send him in the break on the next one, it's all good, right? Samuels picks up 4 points. That's one we want to keep an eye on because he's probably a better option long-term than Ashimwe is for the KOM. So you kind of just bag a few points for him along the way and then make him the primary guy when we hit some bigger stages and let Ashimwe support. And he's just going to get weaker and weaker as time goes on, but gives you 2 eggs in the basket instead of everything focused on one guy. Great start to this tour. Not perfect, but a very good start. And an African rider has won stages 1 and 2. It's not our guy, it's Girmay, but no bonus for him. No bonus for Eritrea. 63 career victories. That's his 4th victory of the year, so he's had 2 already just in the last couple of days. His first Grand Tour of the season. He's been to the Tour every year. He's also been to the Giro the last 4 years running, except for this year with DSM where they didn't select him, but for UAE, he was doing both. 81 sprint, 81 cobble rating, 78 on the hills. Definitely a stronger rider than what we have. But with 2 more, that's now 8 Tour de France stage victories. First in 2 years, so he's accumulating. He's won the green jersey once back in 25. We know he got popularity boost on that one. 11 stages at the Giro, 2 points jerseys at the Giro, and yet he's only ever picked up a single popularity boost for Eritrea. 1 and 1 training boost, both in the first season. It's been a long time. A lot of Palmares that have not resulted in boosts. But fingers crossed, maybe he can get that points jersey, and that could be the difference. Because he did get one in that first season, and, well, that's season 2 that he won the points jersey. I don't know. Something's not right when a nation is nowhere near the top of the standings or the rankings, and a guy can do this much and not see them gain more than a point. But all we could do is go out and find success. And as a team, we're riding well. And as an individual, he's riding even better. We'll take it, and we'll keep working. That's going to do it for this episode, though. From here on out, though, for this tour, it's race the rest of the way. A lot of introduction this time. Sorry, we only got through 1 stage, but we'll have a lot more in the stages to come, in the episodes to come. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.